Hello everyone and welcome back to ZooCrafting! I am Zookeeper Seri and I am apparently still wearing my adorable little green bunny slippers. That's right, Lily, I still have the bunny slippers on. And we are here in the Village of Light, enjoying the beginning of Season 6 of ZooCrafting and the Year of Light. And I hope you guys have really been as blown away as I have by everything we have been looking at so far, by our amazing construction crew. I don't even, what is the right term? I feel like they should be called like the Builders of Light, but honestly just, that feels like the right thing to call them. So our Builders of Light have come through and they have built up the Village of Light and have offered their help to continue flipping my zoo and making it a really fantastic place for us to start building in again, showing us so many of the amazing natural wonders of this world, cherishing all of the amazing animal facts that we can learn, and just having fun expanding it and finally getting a chance to see people start filling up my zoo as NPCs from our community. There's so much to do, and there are so many villages that I actually think we could have not only the build team, but some of the other returning ZooCrafters come on in and really help us get going and build up the lore and the adventures for, and basically, I feel at home. I just feel calm and happy, and I popped out of the inn, and we've still got a little bit more of the Village of Light to tour before we head back home and we start thinking about what we want to get done in the zoo. Not to mention, I had a dream about our beautiful Tree of Light. The Tree of Light that kind of started all of this, that we planted way back when we had 50 episodes of ZooCrafting years ago. And I think we need to go and visit that very special tree by the end of the day. But alright, we still have a bit of a tour left, Lily. And yeah, seriously, if you guys have been enjoying, seriously, no pun intended, but if you guys have been enjoying the tour of the village, please let me know what you like the gardens. Lily, let's go look at the gardens again. Just really zip quick. I think, okay, I've got to remember how to get to the gardens first. I think if we come down here, and then we take a sharp left, not at this garden yet, Lily. Ooh, I really love these tree trunks. You know, I really want to start seeing some more of these sacred sapling tree trunks pop up, just because they're so beautiful. Though that does beg the question of how would we get any of the sacred sapling wood, Lily? I do hate to cut down a sacred sapling tree. Oh, Lily! What if we manage to attract some more of the elves, the elvish gardeners, like the elvish gardener that we have over by our lily pad bridge? Your lily pad bridge, Lily. Oh, look at her tail. I think she likes that idea. But I bet we could work with all sorts of special gardeners, including ones that could be you guys as NPCs in this world, who could help us snag some of those rare plants without, cutting down a beautiful sacred tree. Oh my goodness. Definitely don't want to do that. But I really loved seeing the reaction that you guys had, especially to this garden, because it is just a beautiful and happy place. I can't wait to start doing a whole bunch of work when we are doing our live streamings, and just come in here and sit down and get a chance to talk and just enjoy how beautiful this area is. Maybe this will be the site we host all of our future Q&As on, right, Lily? Though that does mean we might want to build some more things that direction so that Lily doesn't have to worry about all of the creepers and things like that anymore. Look at this. All of this untouched land. It once would have felt like an overwhelming blank canvas I had to fill up, but now I just see excitement and opportunity. All right, Lily, let's enjoy a good orange, or at least I'll enjoy a good orange. There we go. I don't think Puppy should have citrus right now. And let's go and tour the very last couple of places that we have finished up in the village. And I'm going to show you guys what the Nymphaea garden looks like. The beautiful Nymphaea garden where all of the flowers represent some of you. Each and every member of our community is represented there, and I really do actually go and sit in there sometimes when I need to think about how many people or all of our adventures have reached out and touched, and when I really need to think about the impact that a few words can have on hundreds of thousands of people. It's a very important place to me, so it's going to be really exciting that you guys get to see it now that all of the Nymphaeas have been planted and we've caught up with that. So, I'm still so emotional, and this is still so beautiful. I think that this is truly like the Village of Light base house layout that I want to have. I just look at it and I can see a growing tree. It's just stunning. It's just stunning. We should bake some pie, and we should come and leave some pie for the Builders of Light. And it's just such a gorgeous village, but so empty. So soon we're going to start doing some of those side quests where we add in NPCs again. Come on, little girl. All right, but oh yeah, okay. All right, here we go, guys. So we have covered the, I guess, hang on one second. I want to know. All right, so that would be, we have covered the east side of the village, and now we are headed on to the west side of the village where we have a couple more houses to visit, and then we get to see a very special cave area, followed up by our Nympsia garden and our beautiful tree of light. So without further ado, let's see, which place first? Let's just follow the path and see where it leads us to first. Oh, over here! All right, come on, Lily, come on! All right, we're gonna go up this direction. And look at how beautiful these gardens are. Just imagine people walking around here that I could trade all sorts of little goodies with in order to get all of these beautiful flowers too. Hello, Lily. You are a beautiful flower as well, my girl. All right, so Sacred Roots Retreat, this way. All right, so let's see what is over here other than an absolutely gorgeous bridge made out of leaves. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then check this out. Look at this cave! Isn't this not the coolest cave? I've got to make some of my caves look like this in the zoo because this is just amazing. This is so cool. Look at all of the curves. Look at all of the stalactites holding tight to the ceiling and the stalagmites coming up from the ground where they might grow up to be big one day. That was one of the very first things that I taught you guys in the very first episodes of ZooCrafting. And it just is one of my favorite science facts now. All right. Oh, look at this sparkle and shine. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at this, you guys. Look at this beautiful cave. I love it. I love it. This is the kind of inspiration I want to have for our zoo to make people really appreciate how gorgeous cave systems can be. And then you come right into the Sacred Roots Retreat and ta-da! It is a beautiful, relaxing hot springs where you can come and splash around inside of the pool below the Sacred Roots and enjoy the Sacred Roots Retreat. This is fantastic. This is relaxing. This is where I'm glad I have my bunny slippers and my hair down, and I wish I had something like you know, a skin that we could put on. Well, that sounds kind of creepy. Some nice clothes that we could put on when we want to just enjoy our village and spend some time in it and do a lot of trades in it now that I'm thinking about it. But this is so pretty. I love these stained glass pieces and I cannot wait until we're able to actually, oh, look at that. And little tea. Oh, it would be so cool if we could trade some tea in here. In fact, I kind of want to make some tea, but we'll focus on that in a little bit. But this is absolutely beautiful and I really love it. I really love it. I just love the idea of coming and relaxing at the retreat. We'll definitely have to pop over here with some of the people who start coming to move into the village. All right, so that is the gorgeous retreat. Lily girl, what do you think about that? Let me go ahead and give you some ostrich carrot and sweet mash. There you are, my dear. And it definitely is going to be a good example of what I'm going to want so many of our caves to look like, which means I'm going to need a way to get a lot of stalactites and stalagmites. I wonder if there's some sort of like geologist that we might be able to trade cobblestone to who can do research on how to maybe seed some stalactites and stalagmites around the world. Because normally, I mean, one little chunk of this thing would take literally centuries to grow. That was another fun fact that I loved teaching the kids when I was a middle school teacher and taught science at a nonprofit. All right, let's wiggle over here. This little path branches off next, and this gorgeous area is Rainy Day Hideaway. We've got a lovely little book that I can only imagine is somebody's joy journal. Some adorable little plant pots and fireflies scattered everywhere. And just a nice little hideaway where if you want to take a few minutes, especially if it happens to be a rainy day, to get out of the rain and just sort of sit and enjoy the village, then this is the perfect place for you. I really love it. Those kinds of little hidden retreats, Lily, they definitely make my heart so happy. All right, so carrying on, we'll wiggle down here and then we'll follow the path to this gorgeous rainbow house. Look at this. Look at this. So many rainbows. And look at the adorable little cow. And this is Renee's Rainbow Retreat. Oh, there's another little cow plushie. Oh my gosh. Now I kind of want to have like a cow fandom shop. That would be so cute if we just like had a shop where there's super cow fans. Oh, that would be adorable. All right, we've got a little teeny garden right here. Pardon me, just a really quick little peek. And we've got such beautiful butterflies preserved over here. Look at the cute little library. I love it. And of course, a bird of paradise. Look at these pictures up on the walls. I never thought about doing a sort of recessed little area where you could just sort of tuck a plant or maybe a statue into. Huh. Having maybe like a statue expert who could make convincing statues for our zoo would be really nice too. And this is definitely a great idea for decorating some of our hallways where I normally just have it like a straight hallway. Maybe I need to start doing little recessed zones with plants. Everything's always better with plants. Whoa! Whoa! These flower boxes! I've never used them before, and I didn't know you could put them up high on a wall. That looks so cool. Just think about having this all laid out inside of a greenhouse. Oh, or even just in the hallways of some of our zoo zones. This is beautiful. Okay, I'm getting so many ideas. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, it's a little cow outfit. Again, it's tucked away, so it sort of just shines right there. Man, that would be really fun to do a whole bunch of armor pieces that way. Maybe like a good museum and we could go and collect a whole bunch of artifacts from around the world. That would be really fun. I think that would be a lot of fun actually. Oh, look at this. And I hear chickens. I'm a big fan of chickens. Oh, hello! The dye chickens! I don't have the dye chickens yet, but I'm actually thinking about a very creative way where we could enjoy seeing some of the Mo chickens, which have really, after 2 years in our world, I think something's up, guys. I think that for some reason, we're not finding the Mo chickens scattered in our realm. So I am not sure if it's just because they're a little bit too fantasy-based to want to appear in a Zoodesia Zoo, but I've been thinking I do have that Minecraft Lego set of the chicken coop, and how fun would it be to build the chicken coop and see if we could find some Mo chickens together, or come up with a clever way where we might get some random eggs that might hatch into these special chickens. I know it looks like it just pooed everywhere, which we're zookeepers, we can handle the word poop, but I promise you this is just cocoa beans. It literally laid cocoa beans because cocoa beans are actually brown dye. Thank you, Rain. That was awesome. It looked hilarious too. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's the chicken's way of saying we definitely should come up with some sort of fancy way to try to get more Mo chickens in our world. So keep an eye out. One day we might be building that Lego set to add to Junior's village inside of my office in real life, and we'll try to come up with a clever way to bring some new chickens into our world while we're at it. All right, so what do we have back here? Beautiful storage area. Oh, I like this curved ceiling of leaves. Why didn't I think to do that? Ah, leaves and window boxes everywhere. This is fantastic. Oh my gosh, the window boxes are really all over the place. Why did I never use them? Why did it never occur to me? Oh, I love the library. I wonder what kind of books those are. That's the other thing it would be really fun to see, is just having tons and tons of books. Oh, and a little turtle on the wall. But having tons and tons of books scattered everywhere, especially if they might be books written by our Builders of Light, or maybe some of the patrons or some of you guys like we used to do. We should build a proper library again. Or our poetry area. We used to have a poetry tree, and that was such a fun spot. Maybe we could have that come back and put some of your guys' poetry back there. Whoops, and I am knocking on the glass. Don't want to do that. But look at the view. Oh, this is so cool. We need some more tall things here in this village so that way there's even more things to see from this view. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. Oh, this is a nice end table. Jeez. I mean, the Builders of Light are teaching me about things that I actually had no idea were even part of our world. After so long, Lily! I guess it goes to show if it's not a leaf or a plant, I tend not to pay too much attention. But alright, let's carry on, Lily girl. Alright, where's the path gonna take us now? Let's see. Does it go this way? Oh, it does! Hello, hello? Oh, hello! Honey-chan! Hi! Lily girl! Lily girl, sit. I don't want you picking a fight with the new puppers just yet. Hi! Aren't you cute? Oh my goodness. Oh, and it's a little house. Oh, and it loops around. Oh, I see. It loops around to where the other house was. I didn't even know this actually like led somewhere. Look at these lanterns. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll come this way. Pardon me. Hello? Oh, look how cute the interior is. Oh my gosh. Oh, Oh, it's so cute. It's just like a little teeny thatch house. Oh, look, there's even a little storage area. I love that. And there's a little book, but I'm scared to touch it. I'm scared. Should I? Eep. A reminder. Surrounded by my friends here in the Village of Light, this house is a reminder of the importance of friendship. With doors wide open, my house is a sanctuary for those in search of positivity and peace. Oh, that's a beautiful message. That's a beautiful message. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh, I don't feel so bad, like, coming into everybody's houses, and look at this gorgeous path. Lily, imagine this kind of path in our dino zone. Oh, Lily girl, that would be beautiful. Yeah, this is amazing. Can I get another view? Oh, look at the cute view of the house from over here. Oh, it's so adorable. Yeah, that's amazing. But all right, guys, those are all of the buildings that have been built so far in the Village of Light, and there will be many more coming. Some of them will be constructed by the Builders of Light, and some of them will be constructed hopefully by some of the patrons that we have, not here, but in other realms and then brought here. And hopefully some of them will even be inspired by you. And I might get a chance to actually try my hand at building in the village and at least maybe setting up a cool little marketplace to do some trades, hopefully at some point in the future. But don't worry, I know there is still so much to do in the zoo, and we will be focusing on zoo stuff. And to do that, I'm going to need the right tools. And to do that, I think it's finally time to retrieve something that I lost a long time ago. All right, Lily, let's do this. So let's come on down, my friends, and I'm going to show you a couple more very important locations here in the village, one of which is a little tricky to reach now that we have all of this twisting and turning, so we're actually going to have to backtrack a little bit. But let's go this direction, and we are going to wiggle up, and we are going to go and visit the Tree of Light. So up we go. Oh my goodness. It's pretty easy to get yourself turned around. And then I think if we come up, I know that I know my own village. Don't worry. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. I see the path right there. I know there's a way to get there. Do we go past the... Okay, here we go. I knew there was a way to get there eventually. Look at the beautiful rivers. Lily, Tate is going to love this as soon as we get him from the giraffe exhibits. But there we go. Let's wiggle up here. And we're going to come up to the Tree of Light. And we are going to step into the flower fields. There's a couple things I really want you guys to see here. The first of which is actually this brand new flower field. This is a very special area that represents all of the patrons that we have. And I know that that may seem a little bit odd to talk about since so many of you are so young, but basically it just means the people who came through and are able to really support us. And they've made it so that no matter what happens in a shifting sea of creating videos and putting them up on the internet, we'll still be able to tell our adventures with their help. So I won't go into too many details. You guys know where to go to find out more information about all that stuff, but I wanted to really point this garden out. The seeds of hope planted by the patrons have really helped me keep it together when I was so scared and so worried about what the future of all of our adventures would be. I don't have any control over what goes on in places like YouTube, or how the rules of the internet might change, or how the rules of how you can make money on the adventures you put up on the internet go. All those things, to me, have always been so secondary just to enjoying the adventures. But I do need to eat, and I do need to keep a roof over Chip's nice head, especially while he's still in school, and to help out my family however I can. And that kind of stress can be so distracting, and to be honest, that's one of the reasons that I disappeared from ZooCrafting for so long. My mother got more sick, my mother and father's situation became more desperate, and I didn't know what to do in order to take care of them and how to support them and make sure that the real life around me didn't crumble into a million pieces. And somehow in all of that chaos, I got so focused on having to work and work and work on the things that were the most popular that ZooCrafting slip through my fingers. And that just can't happen, because in the end, there are some things that just refuel your heart. No matter how many things you do have and need to do that fill up your tummy and put a roof over your head, you can't forget your heart either. And finally, after so long, I was able to come back to my heart series and eventually come back home to ZooCrafting thanks to these people. Thanks to them having my back and sharing their stories about how much ZooCrafting meant to them, how it brought them out of dark times, how they were able to share it with their family and friends who meant so much to them, how it made them feel like they weren't alone, how it made them feel like they could keep going on even when the world felt really overwhelming. ZooCrafting may not always be the most popular place, and it may be a really weird mishmash of my heart and animal facts wrapped up in a blocky world. But without the support of these people, I don't know if it would have ever come back. So I'm always going to be so grateful to them, and we'll always have a garden growing right over here to remember them by. So this is one of our new gardens, and then the other garden, it's not so much new, as it's a very, very special place that has gotten very, very big to represent everyone else. So each one of these flowers represents one person and the amazing support that they have been able to give and put their hand on my back and just make sure things actually follow through, Lily girl. And all of these, each and every one of these nymphaeas, there's over 2,506 of them now. Each and every one of these nymphaeas represents 100 of you guys. Look at that. Can you believe that? It's kind of amazing to me to think I know the personal stories of the people in the Patreon because of talking to them so in depth for so long, so well. And each one of those flowers represents, so just all of the flowers from there would represent one of these plants. And if the stories from those flowers back there would only equal up to one of these nymphaeas, this is the place I come. This is the place I come to remember that you are all amazing and you all have stories I can't even imagine. You have reasons for being here that would make my heart just absolutely burst into rainbows. It would make me cry sometimes. Sometimes it would just make me do a dance of knowing that, yay, I have made it so that somebody who's young, somebody who's old, somebody who's my age, somebody who lives a life completely opposite of me, all of those things, that person's not quite as alone as I felt growing up, and that person feels like they too have a home here in ZooCrafting. So it's just amazing. It's so hard to explain, but all of these flowers represent all of you. And whenever I'm really overwhelmed and I don't know where to go or what direction I want to do with my life, I come over here and just remember, hey, there's a lot of people here. And so you know what I think you could do today, Seri? Let's try to be happy, create something beautiful, and share it. Because there's a lot of people here, and no doubt, with everything that's going on in all of their lives, somebody among these thousands of people could just use a smile today. They could just use somebody telling them, hey, do what makes you happy. Build something beautiful. Take care of yourself. There's a good chance that those are going to be words that somebody needed to hear when there's this many of you. And it also reminds me how important all of your guys' creativity is and how far-reaching our adventures are. So I love the Nymphea garden. I love it, I love it, I love it. And I have used it to remember how important our stories are and how important my words are. And Lily girl, I have used it. Here you go, Lily. You're getting a little peckish, I see. But I have also used it to remind myself that, you know, words have impact and it's important. It's important to remember just how many people are in our community and to be humbled by that. So I honestly come here a lot when I want to feel super humbled by what we've done and go forward just feeling really, really, really deeply how important it is to remember that impact. So enough of that, Lily. It's so hard to explain, I guess, unless you're up here. But the Nymphea garden has done well. Oh, and look, it's one of the kitties. Mr. Cuddles, I hope you're doing well. How is our gardener? He's probably enjoying this sudden downpour. But I think it's time. So let's do this. To the Tree of Light. So like I mentioned, over the last couple years, I kind of majorly lost my way. I thought, hey, if there's that many people and so few of them care about ZooCrafting, and I'm so worried about what'll happen to my mom and dad and to Chips and I, then I should, of course, just focus on the most popular stuff. That's what I thought, Lily. But ZooCrafting is how this all began. And honestly, it's a place I feel comfortable and happy and like I can actually create something good and beautiful in the world. So when I turned my back on ZooCrafting, I kind of turned my back on the light inside of myself. Because by not creating ZooCrafting, not even coming in just to be alone here in the world, I was telling myself that the happiness that I felt here didn't matter. I had work to do. I needed to be accountable to all of those strangers, and I needed to pick the things that made the most of them happy. And yeah, there's a kernel of truth to that with what I do, for sure. But man, when you start telling yourself that the happiness you feel, even if everybody else tells you it's boring and dumb and whatever, doesn't matter, if you really come up with this huge list of excuses, the rent, grocery bills, responsibility to your family, responsibility to your community, when all you can really tell, when your community looks like that, all you can really tell is kind of the numbers with what they like. When your community looks like this, you get to know their individual stories, and it becomes a lot easier to understand what motivates people and understand what matters to them. But I let myself tell myself it didn't matter if I was happy here. It didn't matter if I loved coming into ZooCrafting. It didn't matter if I loved just spending episodes cooking or episodes mining or just wandering around. It didn't matter if I felt weirdly at home here, even as I had to move all over the country and even as I traveled the world with my beloved, and home was kind of a thing I didn't really have in real life. I told myself it didn't matter if home felt like being able to be here, because it went with me wherever my real life adventures took me. I had to work to do. I had to be Seri. I had to go and do the most popular things. And when you tell yourself that that feeling of being at home and that happiness doesn't matter, you will quench the light within. So I'm very lucky because these people told me again and again and again, over and over and over, what ZooCrafting meant to them and what the light that I had brought into my own life here meant to them. And also, I had a lot of time to think about it, and I realized I couldn't keep going without the light. I felt like I was lost in the dark, and I was pushing so hard and trying to create so much in so many different places to make all of the Nympsias happy. And I forgot that the most important thing I could do is lead the way, because the things that make us happy are the things that are going to make us feel like our hearts are full of light. And I've been through a lot in my life, a ton of stuff I have never told anybody, a ton of stuff that none of you will ever know about. But I can promise you, look you in the eye and tell you it's been some of the hardest stuff you can possibly endure in life, in the journey of living. And I'm here on the other side, and I can honestly say that the way to get through those things, the way to get through when you really, really, really hate yourself, or the way to get through when you feel like your anxiety is going to choke you into pieces, or when you flunk out of college twice, because that was me, or when you feel like nothing you ever do will ever, ever, ever make it better for your family and your loved ones who have been so unlucky in the genetic lottery of life. I have been through all of that, and I thought I could work my way out of it, and I couldn't. In the end, the thing that got me through was learning how to take care of the light in my heart. And that's what I'm trying to explain. That's what I'm trying to found this next year of ZooCrafting on. I'm probably going to run in circles. I'm probably going to spend days rambling. I'm probably going to spend time gathering tons of plants. And whatever happens, I hope for all of you Nympsias out there, I'll be able to at least set an example. Even if I'm the only person in the whole world who had a fantastic time that day, I want you guys to see the kind of life that can be lived when you have the light within. Because only that, in the end, only being able to cultivate and maintain and take care of and protect your own happiness is going to help you go forward. No one else will ever be able to give you your own sense of happiness and your own sense that this life is worth living than yourself. People can inspire you. People can definitely remind you that it's a good thing, and when you follow your heart and when you put hard work into whatever that path is for your heart, that it can affect lots of other people really well and it can change the world. But in the end, you're the one who has to be accountable for your own happiness, and there is honestly no better feeling. And if you turn your back on that, it's going to feel like you're lost in the dark. So, I rambled way too long about that, but it's true. And it's probably the most important lesson I will ever have to offer anyone for my entire life. And it's something I will be saying until my final days, Lily. My final days of whatever. Is that in the end you have to be accountable for yourself and your happiness. And that is going to be the light that gives you the way forward. And so on that note, it's time to go pick up something that I lost a long time ago. It's time to retrieve the sword of light. Trust the light within, and there will always be a way. No matter what other people tell you, your happiness is a valid thing. And doing what it takes to become the kind of person who can take care of yourself and who can take care of your happiness, that's a valid thing. So, welcome to my world. It's silly sometimes, it's rambly sometimes, and it's full of plants. But I'm really hoping that I'll just be able to share a sense of lightness and a sense of joy that will show you guys the kind of power that you can give yourself if you allow yourself to be happy. So, welcome back everyone, and welcome to the Year of Light. And next time, we will carry on diving back into the zoo, and we will begin our adventures as a proper zookeeper. But under the surface, know that I've got the Sword of Light back, and for me, that means carrying light in my heart, and knowing that as long as I do that and just make sure I take care of being happy, then I'll always find a way forward, and I won't feel like I'm lost in the dark for a couple of years like I have in the past. So, yep, messy, rambly. I hope it helped somebody out there, but I guess in the end, the most important thing is that it helped me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.